Yeah, it was our elbow action. They overplayed the dribble handoff on the initial action. Joe kind of has the option to just dribble the ball into the post, or either play rifle or re-hand off with me. I thought for him, like in that play, it doesn't matter to me how he decides to do whatever, but I just thought he showed a lot of poise in sort of reading the situation and coming back my way. But yeah, that was the design.
Is that the tough part about that, JJ, waiting to make that read? Because if you sense the overplay, you're trying to counter and
well, literally two plays before that, we ran our pop action, which is just a different way to get to the DHO, and they overplayed it, and I went baseline, and he threw it to me, and I hit the jumper, the two-pointer. So, that's the counter. The elbow action, there's not as much room because it's lower, closer to the baseline, so there's not as much room to backdoor. So if there's an overplay, a lot of times he does just end up dribbling the ball to the post. But again, he has that option to kind of turn around and just play like two-man game with me.
JJ, what degree are you a better player than you were when you last played for Orlando?
I think I've tried every year I've been in the league to work on my craft, both from a skill perspective and on my body. And so, there's not really any magical secret to it. It's just, sort of the analogy of putting in daily work and you get sort of drops in a bucket, and then eventually your bucket's pretty full, and you have a good base to play with. And, so I think I'm significantly better. I would say in every area I'm better. I think also my 4 years in Los Angeles gave me a lot of confidence, because it was the first time, where I was playing as a starter. I was playing, 30 minutes a night. So that was a different experience than what I had for at least my first 6 years in Orlando prior to my last year with Jacques.
Is there a lesson a young player can take who maybe struggles his first couple of years, or doesn't get the playing time he wants, that can take from this?
Yeah, I talk to guys all the time. There's a lot of lessons to be learned. One of the things that I try to stress to young guys is just to sort of ignore the noise. We live in a day and age where people are making judgment calls on 20-year-old players and deciding whether or not they're a bust at 22 or 21, and this guy's never going to be a good defender, or this guy's never going to be a willing passer, and these kids are juniors and seniors in college basically. So I try to stress that to them. Look, if you accumulate knowledge, you gather some wisdom from your older players and your coaches, and you work really hard on your skills, like if you're in the NBA to begin with, you're going to have a pretty good chance to become a decent player. That's just, I don't think anybody would argue with sort of that notion, right? So those are the sort of the things that I try to stress.
JJ, what was going through your head when Terrence Ross pulls up from 40 feet and hits that shot?
Yeah, to be honest with you, so Joe tapped it out, and I was the next defender. So when Joe kind of got hung up, I stepped up because I knew the shot clock was winding down. I obviously didn't want to foul, and I contested him. And when I turned around to look at the ball, I knew it was going in. It was, from a guy who's a brilliant half-court shooter, I just knew from the path of the ball. No, I knew it was going in. Like it was a sick feeling. It was a sick feeling.
It's just going to be one of those games after.
No, because to be honest, I think the theme of this game was really for both teams is just like a level of resiliency. Our horrible start, our run to go up, them coming back, retaking sort of all the momentum in the game, and then us pushing the lead again, them coming back again, them retaking the lead. That was just the theme of the game. That's how the game turned out. So I felt like we had enough time and enough possessions that we were gonna make a play and get that lead back.
With Markelle, or with Ben going out, Markelle has a chance to play a lot more on the ball, walk the game down until he picks up his fifth foul. How much does that help him just to kind of get his comfort?
I think any game experience for him is just fantastic. We talk about like young guys and like he didn't ever get a chance to be in a rhythm last year. And so part of that, I think, for any young player, and I had to do this with Austin when he first came to the Clippers, is like you got to figure out sort of like what your base is every night. You know what I mean by that? Like these are the things that I know I'm going to do every night, make or miss. These are the things I'm going to do every night. And so I think for Markelle, getting the chance to play 25, 30 minutes in a game like that is huge. It gives him a chance to build his base, and part of that is going to be playmaking and being on the ball on offense. All right, thanks, guys.